welcome to Daily Life Connection. Thank you for joining me again today as we explore the heart of the Father as revealed in Luke chapter 15. Today I want to take a look at a really sad part of the story. And it's where we find the older brother at the end of the story. This older brother is on the farm. He's part of the family. He's a son. He has never left the farm. He's stayed on it. He has done what his father said. He's served in his father's farm, his father's kingdom. And yet, here at the end of the story, where do we see him? Outside the party. I think that is so tragic. It is heartbreaking. And I think it broke Jesus' heart as well. Well, he wept over Jerusalem. He wept over people who were like this, who would not embrace him and the joy of his Father's kingdom because of their hard-heartedness, because of their religiousness, their self-righteousness, because they were tied to a performance-based system that just wouldn't let them relax and enjoy the mercy and grace of God. And so therefore, they ended up just like this older brother, outside the party. Oh, the picture here is so vivid. It's dark, it's night. He's outside in the darkness. Inside the house, the lamps are lit and the candles are burning and the light is shining out through the windows. It's a glorious place in there, all golden in the light. Outside where he is just utter darkness. I mean, in those days, there were no street lights, there was no porch lights, there was no electricity, so it was just utter darkness out there. So here he is out here in the utter darkness. Here he is not enjoying the celebration. Here he is not enjoying his father. He's not enjoying his brother. He's not enjoying the family friendships at all. He is just isolated. He's out there by himself. I guess I would say it this way. He is out there in the hell of his anger and resentment. Now, I don't know if this story really includes the idea of eternity or not in it. I'm not sure. I think maybe it does. I think maybe this is a picture of heaven and hell. I think maybe this is a picture of those who have embraced the Father and let him embrace them, and who have accepted his grace and mercy, and they are experiencing this grand banquet, this grand celebration. And those outside are the ones who have rejected him, rejected his grace, rejected his mercy, and refuse to accept the scandal of his grace, who are entrenched in their performance. And I don't think we think of this picture often. We think of those outside the kingdom of heaven in the final chapters, in the final end of all things, as being the outright sinners. But I really suspect it also includes those who are entrenched in their religiosity, who resent grace, who are so convinced that they have worked hard and so on, and have been judgmental of those who don't, those who are so tied to their performance and their self-righteousness. I've worked really hard. I've tried really hard. I've been really committed. I've prayed to the best of my ability. I've done all these things. When we get entrenched in that, are they going to be the ones left outside in the hell of anger and resentment and estrangement? This older brother estranged himself from the Father. He is not in close relationship to the Father. Can you see him letting the Father hug him at that point? I don't. Because he's so angry at the Father for the grace he's shown to this younger brother, the forgiveness, the unconditional love and acceptance. He just can't accept that because he believes he deserves better, because he has performed better. And there he is outside in the darkness, in the separation, in that awful place of aloneness and darkness, because he is out there in the hell of his anger and his resentment. Not a very good thing to think about, is it? I mean, it's a warning. I believe Jesus was teaching this part of the story as a warning. He was warning those who are insistent upon a moral behavior being the standard, service and obedience being the standard necessary for the celebration. You see, The older son believed that. He said, I've served and I've obeyed. In other words, I've performed really well. Where is my celebration? That should lead to celebration, and it hasn't. It hasn't. And the father is saying to him, the only thing that leads to celebration in the kingdom of God is grace and mercy. It's just receiving the grace of God and embracing the Father and walking in relationship with Him. That's where life to the full is, both now and in eternity. Life to the full is found in that. Oh, such a difficult part of the story, isn't it? Such agony in our hearts for that elder brother standing out there in his anger and his bitterness and his resentment and his utter frustration with a father that loves like this. Oh, I pray that God will help us protect our hearts from that, deliver us from performance-based religion and righteousness, and enable us to embrace the grace of God with fullness today, not only for ourselves, but for the others, for all others, no matter what their situation in life, where they are, as they are. God, do that in our hearts today. Please, please, please. We don't want to be left outside the party, outside in the hell of our anger and resentment that comes from performance-based religion. Well, let's think about it today and let God search our hearts, and let's embrace the grace and mercy of God in all its fullness. And we'll talk again tomorrow.